How's it going, you guys? My name is William, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about more dividends and the purpose of dividends is, and how you can kind of keep track of your dividends. One thing I do want to say, though, is that I do think it's really important to keep track of your dividends. Otherwise, they kind of just look like growth stocks when you look at your stocks on whatever brokerage you have, if you look online. So if you're not really keeping track of that stuff, you kind of almost lose the whole vision of what dividend investing can do for you. Obviously, in the long run, you'll see what it can do for you, but that could take years. And if you keep track of your dividends with a spreadsheet like I have right here, it clearly shows you how much you're making per month, how much you made for the entire month, how much you made per stock off of dividends, and how much you made year to date. And I also threw in a monthly average too, just to see, how much would I expect to make on a monthly average. Obviously, it's pretty low right now because we're still in March. We haven't hit April quite yet. And so I haven't gotten any of those dividends that will be paying out in April. And with dividends, every company, they pay at a different day. Some companies are a monthly, some companies are quarterly, some companies are every 6 months. I don't know if there's any companies that are once a year. As you can see here, in January, I only had 3 stocks pay me dividends. And you can also see here, Realty Income actually pay me all 3 months, so they're a monthly paying dividend. But you can see at least, same with the SPHD S&P 500, they paid me monthly. But something like Mort, I got paid in January and I still haven't gotten paid from them. So that I don't actually know how often they pay their dividends, but it tells me it's probably every 3 months or so. So in February, I had a lot. January, I had very little. And March, I've had very little as well. But it's good to see when you expect to get paid the most on what months. For when you maybe are retired, you can actually predict what months you'll have more money and what months you'll have less money. And that's also why I threw in the average, because you could kind of average it out yourself. If you are retired and have a lot of dividend paying stocks, you could more easily predict how much on average you're going to be making. So for this spreadsheet, it's a pretty simple spreadsheet, but I'll still link it down below. Maybe you don't have time to make it, or maybe you just don't even have the knowledge on how to make an Excel spreadsheet or how to use it at all. And sometimes it can be frustrating, so I'll still link it down below. This is a spreadsheet that I actually made myself to keep track of my dividends. But as you can see, in January, I only made $2.72. February made a little bit more, $6.67, and March pretty low, $1.24. And my year-to-date so far is $11.47. Now in 3 months, that's not that much. $12 for 3 months. That's really low, and with an average of not even $1 every month. But you got to realize that over time, these will continue to grow. So this 24 cents that I got from Realty Income, it got reinvested into the stock. I didn't actually take my profits. I reinvested it. That's the whole point of dividend investing, is that you reinvest it so that you can get a higher, or so that the snowball effect starts to take in place. And, the snowball effect starts really small and slow, and then it gets really big really fast. Obviously, with dividends, really fast, 20 years from now, whatever. So I'm going to show you my Robinhood account, and I'm going to actually show you where you guys can find your dividends and how to find them so you can keep track of them. So this is my Robinhood portfolio. You guys have seen it before. So in order to see how much dividends you've been paid or when you're expected to get them, you could individually click through these stocks. Let's just take a look at AT&T. Scroll down and go to show more, and you could either filter it by orders or dividends, or you could just search through all here. But you search by default of filter of dividends, and you can see in August I got paid 260, then 265, then 270. So it looks like this AT&T is maybe quarterly, so every 3 months or so, or 4 months actually. Sorry. So you could do that and go through each individual stock and see how much dividends you got and when you got paid. But an easier way to just look at all of them so you can quickly input the information over. Go to your account, go to history, and you can filter by a bunch of different options. We're just taking a look at dividends, and this actually shows me dividends that are coming a little bit later. So on the 31st, I'm expecting $1 dividend return from S&P 500, and also I'm expecting 84 cents from Coca-Cola. But this shows you all the dividends that you've received. So I started back in July. I haven't kept track of any of these yet. I was kind of still, figuring out what dividends were and how it could actually be beneficial. So I just started tracking them starting in January. I could go back and track all of these, but I don't really think it's worth it right now. Maybe I will in the future. But yeah, this is where you can see all your dividends. You can see how much per share the company was given or is paying out, and you can also see how much you got in total and how much dividend or how many shares were accounted for. So even though I have more than 2 shares of Coca-Cola, bought the rest of my 4 shares after the ex-dividend date. I'm not sure what the ex-dividend dates are for any of my stocks. I'm not really too concerned about that. I'm just buying whenever I have money and when I can. But if you are really into dividends, you could kind of, try to time your purchases so that you get the most, the quickest. If I would have bought more Coca-Cola before the ex-dividend date, I would have gotten 4 more shares worth of dividends. So we go to history. Dividends, they paid 42 cents a share. So I would have gotten almost like a little less than $2. So I would be making almost, $2. Because it's about, let's say, just 50 cents per share, just about, and I have 6 shares right now. So if I bought before the ex-dividend date all 6 of my shares, I would have gotten right around $3 or so. But since I didn't, only 2 of my shares qualified or were bought before the ex-dividend date, and I only got 84 cents. But if you guys enjoy this type of content or you find it useful, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and maybe share it with your friends. Comment down below if you have any questions or what you want me to talk about. I'll try to maybe reply to you or talk about it. But for now, thank you guys for watching.